Okay, there we go.
Recording.
Recording.
Cheers.
Cheers. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
All right. Here we're back with episode 13.
Wow. Lucky. Lucky 13.
But I won't do that.
Let's call it lucky.
Episode 13, in which Ethan Hunt accepts the mission to determine how long it took the lyrics of Jump to be written.
Oh, 7 minutes.
7 minutes?
Which is the same amount of time it took to write it. Like, it was being written as it was thought of.
Yeah.
Jump. I might as well jump. Go ahead and jump.
Yeah. Today is Van Halen's Jump. I brought up Ethan Hunt because we watched Mission Impossible last night.
Number
6.
so long.
They're too long.
It's like the end of the Extreme song more than words. It just keeps going.
It does keep
like
going.
One other section, one other. Seriously? And now this?
But why? We were talking about this after the movie. Why in films does the villain have a countdown for the bomb? Why not just have the bomb go off?
I know. That's such a great point. Like, just kill everyone. If you want to kill everyone,
why is there a 15-minute countdown? Because he's setting off like a nuclear weapon in this movie.
It's so that Ethan has time.
Yeah, time.
He wants Ethan. I think he really wants Ethan to be super frustrated and then get blown up.
Because the villain's not trying to get away.
No, he's just standing on the porch.
He's just standing there, and
it was Force. What was it? Force. Which one was it? Which Mission Impossible?
Fallout.
Oh, Fallout. Okay.
It's I quite liked it still, but I just really was like, because the amount of things that happen in the final 15 minutes.
Oh, please.
I mean, Tom Cruise
final hour
climbs this rope up to a helicopter twice in the first 4 minutes of the
free solo climbs at the end.
He does free solo climb. The whole thing's very puzzle. If you're a villain and you're gonna detonate a bomb, just have it go off. We don't need some cursory 15-minute countdown.
In the future, all you villains out there, just keep in mind you don't need to have a countdown. Just because that's what you see in all the movies. It's like people behave like they see behavior in romantic comedies or something, you know? So yeah. I think in the same way, maybe villains think that they have to have a lair. And they think that
the bomb needs a 15-minute countdown.
Some kind of a countdown.
Or 5-minute countdown.
You need to give everyone a chance.
A chance, yeah. A chance to think they can disarm it.
These are very fair villains.
Okay.
Even though as they're ticking off all the things he did, killed an entire village of mostly children and women. And,
right.
But,
he still wants to give Ethan a chance, a sporting chance.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
Yeah. Becky made chocolate chip cookies last night. Now there's a big tub of dough sitting in the fridge, so I could just grab a piece unhelpfully every time I go to the fridge.
Because I'm going to make more for Kat tomorrow. I'm going to give Kat, she loves my cookies, so I'm going to give her some.
Today is Van Halen's Jump. Did you ever ask your brother what he thinks of this song?
No. Should I ask him now? Let's see. Maybe we'll have a real-time answer.
A true rock guy, Brad.
Yeah, Brad.
I bet he's going to say Van Jump is when he got off the Van Halen train.
I don't think so.
No? All right. I'll be surprised if he was like, oh yeah, I like Jump.
I think he did.
Really? Well, that would be... Yeah, so we were thinking of different songs that we wanted to do, and I think Jump had come up earlier, and then last night we actually took the time to read the lyrics.
I think I thought of Jump.
You thought of Jump, yeah. And then, oh, okay.
I want credit for Jump because it's so bad.
And such a fun song, such a big hit, as we're going to see. But man, the lyrics, what the hell?
They are so... I mean, it's not even dumb. It's like...
Let's go to the lyrics. Let's just start with the lyrics. We usually don't...
I wouldn't even say it's phoning it in. I would say it's like, you woke up, someone said, you've got to do this song real quick.
Yeah.
Come on, just Just give me something.
Where do you think Jump ranks in like all-time memorable synthesizer songs? Like it's way up there, right?
Well, so you think that the song is popular because of the synthesizer?
Yes. This song is entirely predicated on the synth line, which Eddie Van Halen wrote. You go to a sports arena and it's playing it. I mean, David Lee Roth gives a great performance of really dumb lyrics, and it all kind of blends together. But I really think the whole thing rides on the synthesizer, the famous.
It's just it
synth.
pulls you in, right?
It's
it's a great riff, a synth riff.
Yeah, and to which David Lee Roth, the original first singer of Van Halen, says,
The best thing.
"I get up, and nothing gets me down. You got it tough. I've seen the toughest around, and I know, baby, just how you feel. You got to roll with the punches and get to what's real."
Can I just read this next part? He's like, ah. They even take the time to write, ah.
Can't you see?
Ah, comma. Can't you see me standing here. I've got my back against the record machine. I ain't the worst that you've seen. Ah, can't you see what I mean?
Ah, can't you see? Yeah. So, unclear what any of this is about, which takes us to the chorus. You might as well jump. You might as well jump.
Who's jumping? Like, even in 84,
Yeah.
is that, I mean,
84, yeah.
people, I don't remember if any time of frustration or like,
It wasn't like in to jump.
yeah, like, I did so poorly on my test. Well, you might as well jump.
Jumping. It's not like jogging in the 70s.
Yeah, or,
80s
you know,
were like, but we should do more jumping.
meditating now, like, I just need to meditate, and I'll just clear my head or whatever. Oh, I'm just going to jump. I might as well jump.
Yeah.
Like and it even now is not a thing.
There
Like,
wasn't a Richard Simmons jumping video you could buy,
no, but
jumping.
if you think about it, that crisscross song too, right?
Oh yeah.
Jump, jump,
But-
jump. But that's about dance.
That sounds like dancing. Whether
Yeah.
or not it is, I don't know, but it sounds like dancing. This
This
yeah.
is just jump. If I ain't the worst that you seen, you might as well jump. Like, he's leaning against a record machine. She sees him. Oh, he's not, I've seen worse. Like, so I might as well jump
Go ahead, jump.
because you've seen worse. So jump. What's the point? Like, there's no point.
Today on But I Won't Do That, Van Halen's 1984 smash hit "Jump." We'll come back and talk about the success of this song and the incredible video.
I love the video.
Stick around. All right, we're back. "Jump."
Yes.
Or on Wikipedia, it's "Jump,"
Oh.
Van Halen song. Not to be confused with other versions of "Jump."
Cool.
But the single cover, how cool.
It's that baby
It's-
from the cover of 1980.
Yeah, so it's the 1984 album cover.
The cherub.
The cherub. But he's got like a cool
He has a little DA, ducktail, like a little front pompadour.
yeah. And he's smoking a cigarette, and they put like a little speech bubble that says "Jump," like a comic book font. Yeah. "Jump" is a song by the American rock band Van Halen. It was released in December of 83 as the lead single from their 6th studio album, 1984. It is Van Halen's most successful single, reaching number 1 in 1984, and it differs from earlier Van Halen songs in that it is driven by a keyboard riff.
Look at you knowing that.
Well, no, I just know that's to me the defining characteristic. The song, though, does contain a guitar solo. Eddie Van Halen does shred a little bit.
Well, he has to. He's always
Yeah.
shredding.
Now, David Lee Roth, the singer, dedicated the song to martial artist Benny the Jet Urquidez. Who's this guy?
Not Benny and the Jets.
This is Benny the Jet.
Oh, my.
Who's this guy? Wait, Benny sorry, Betty, if I'm mispronouncing Urquidez, is an American former professional kickboxer, martial arts choreographer, and actor.
He looks like a doughboy.
Whoa, he's a non-contact karate competitor who pioneered full-contact fighting. He made the transition to full-contact karate in 1974.
He doesn't look that ripped to me.
This is him in 1998, though. This is
Oh,
after
it's a
his
little
prime.
late.
Well, between 74 and 93, he amassed a professional record of 49 1-1.
Wow.
Wait, so David Lee Roth dedicated this song to him?
And they let him?
But wait,
Nothing against you, Benny the Jet.
Jump was one of the few Van Halen songs originally recorded by Roth that Sammy Hagar would perform live.
Of course he had to. It was probably in his contract.
Sammy Hagar.
I know you
He's
only
like,
want
I
to
can't drive 55. I won't sing these fucking David Lee Roth songs. You're going to sing Jump, though.
You have
All
to
right.
sing Jump.
All right, I'll sing Jump.
Yeah, you don't sing Jump, you're not in the band.
Oh my gosh.
But what other, like, he wouldn't sing Runnin' with the Devil? That is such a killer song.
Yeah, but so this is interesting because if you come in as the second, a new singer,
Yeah.
and this hasn't happened very much in music history. I mean, Van Halen might be exhibit A of a super popular band. Like, not like, people love them or they're like critics love them. They were huge and they changed lead singers. They changed horses in midstream.
Why? Actually, I don't even.
We'll get to that, but actually, the gist of it is Eddie and David hate each other.
Oh, I thought they were friends. Were they ever friends? No.
So I think they just had completely different visions for the band. But can you think of another band that's like, we're huge, we're gonna change lead singers, and we're gonna just keep going. We're not like quitting and quietly.
Didn't Journey do that?
But Journey, I feel like Journey
Much later.
and they didn't. But like Van Halen keeps going. They still had some hits with Hagar.
I can't think of
Like a popular, like a truly popular band that changed singers at
I
the
mean, I don't
height
think
of their.
people do that. That it seems like just that it kills you. It kills your band.
Yeah, exactly. You think like,
Did anyone do it?
if I can think of any others, I will post them here, YouTube viewers. But one that comes to my mind right now is Genesis. So Genesis actually, their first lead singer was Peter Gabriel. Right. So Peter Gabriel, they're an interesting band because they're more experimental. He leaves the band and Phil Collins takes it pop mainstream.
Yeah. Yep. That's a very good point. I love Peter Gabriel though.
Oh my God. But it's almost like he needed to leave that band to find
be his Your Eyes person.
Yeah.
To find Your Eyes. We could never do Your Eyes because that song is to me perfection.
Eddie Van Halen, the great guitar player,
Yeah.
right, considered one of the great rock guitarists
Of all time.
He wrote the synthesizer line in 1981, but it was rejected by other members of the band.
Including David Lee Roth?
Yeah.
Oh, God. He was wrong.
Yeah. So, but then in 1983, their producer asked Roth to listen to the unused song idea. Riding around in the back of his 1951 Mercury,
Hey,
Roth listened repeatedly to the tune. To come up with the lyrics for it, here we go.
No.
Here we go. To come up with the lyrics for it, he remembered seeing a TV news report the night before about a suicide jumper. Roth thought that one of the onlookers at such an event would inevitably yell, "Go ahead and jump." Roth bounced the suggestion off the producer, who agreed it was good. However, instead of describing a potential suicide, the lyrics were written as an invitation to action, life, and love. What?
This jumping is about jumping off of a building?
So
might as well jump.
Might as well jump.
You might as well kill yourself.
But this is so funny.
I ain't the worst that you've seen. You might as well kill yourself.
But this is, so I like this though. Roth, he thinks one of the onlookers at such an event would inevitably yell, "Go ahead and jump." He's like, there's always some asshole out there. Just go ahead and jump.
Well, he's probably said asshole, you know? He's probably thinking, well, I'd tell the guy to jump.
Jump.
I mean, we might as well jump.
Oh my gosh. But the rest of the lyrics don't sound like that though.
Well, it doesn't sound anything like that. I mean, but it's so pointless.
Which brings us to the second verse, which begins with what sounds like a guy like in his garage, like maybe like
Who hit his thumb with his hammer.
tuning his bicycle. Hey, hey you, who said that? Baby, how you been?
Hey you, who said that? Baby, how you been? Like, what? It's
Yeah.
all written down too. Hey you, who said that? It's even in the song. Who said that? Hey, baby, how you been? It's like, what is that even about?
But do you think that's written in the lyrics, you think? Like, you think if we could find his original, like, written lyrics, he wrote, "Hey, you who said that, baby, how you been?" It sounds so improvised.
So you think when they're in the studio filming it, he's like, the coffee guy showed up and he's like, hey, who said that? Then baby, how you been? Like, I can't even think of a way in which
It's total non sequitur. You say you don't know, and you won't know until you begin. Begin what? And then back to the chorus. You might as well jump. He's standing there with his back against the record machine. I mean, these are truly some of the most either improvised or just fuck all. Like, the synth line is so good, the lyrics won't even matter.
which turned out to be true.
It was totally turned out to be true.
But also, you know what, though? Okay, whatever is wrong,
Yeah.
that when you really just never put your magnifying glass on lyrics,
Just
because really this song is so fun. I remember, this is when I was so involved in my youth group at my church. And I remember like hanging out with the youth group, but we would actually get like alcohol and stuff.
Ooh.
I know.
It wasn't like you weren't singing like "Might as well pray" or something.
No,
You weren't changing.
we wouldn't do that. We would hang out, and we were hanging out at this kid, Billy Bolton's house. And
Shout out Billy.
yeah, he had two other brothers, and we went to Christian school too. And we were in a carpool together. All useless information to know. But and just sitting in the backyard, and this song came on, and you would listen to a radio, and yeah, we were all we loved it.
Yeah.
It was just everybody loved this song. It was so huge. There's not anybody thinking about how dumb the lyrics were.
Yeah. Little background here. Before 1984 and the album 1984, Van Halen were already one of the biggest bands in the world. This is where I'd kind of love to get your brother's input. Their 1978 self-titled debut had sold 10 million copies. In 1978, that's a fuckload of albums, and it remained required listening for every shot glass Hesher in America for years. The band's next 4 albums were all commercial destroyers. Even 1981's Fair Warning, considered the flop of the band's early years, went double platinum. Van Halen toured stadiums and provided a template for hundreds of bands who tried to master the same combination of outrageous theatrics and finger-tapping technical pyro. But Van Halen had never been a presence on the pop charts. They got rock radio play, of course, and they were shameless enough to cover old hits whenever possible. Their highest charting single before this was their cover of Roy Orbison's Pretty Woman.
All right.
It turned out that Van Halen only really needed to do one thing to cross over to the pop charts. They needed to discover the synthesizer. And with Jump, that's what they did. And I guess, too, that when Eddie Van Halen worked on Michael Jackson's Beat It, he got a chance to kind of see how like a pop song is crafted. Like, it was a kind of an eye-opening experience for him to watch Michael put that song together. And he realized, like, there's a lot of craftsmanship to a pop song. It doesn't just have to be like pure rock. And that is, I think, what inspired him to say, like, we could make this song.
And as far as how the music sounds, right?
Yeah,
like catching someone's ear.
Yeah.
Musically. So in other words, he kind of was like, the lyrics aren't going to matter.
Yeah.
Because they don't.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because Beat It too. Great song, right?
Yeah.
But what the hell?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm listening to those lyrics. I remember, what does he mean? Beat it. Like,
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Hey, go ahead. Like, wait, what is the lyrics of Beat It? Beat it, beat it. No one wants to beat it. It's the same uselessness as Jump.
I have to look at the lyrics. I don't know. Jump was recorded at 5150 Studio, which was a studio built by Eddie Van Halen. when he felt like he had a lot of friction with David Lee Roth over the sound of the band, to the point where he went and built his own studio so he could have more control over their recording process. And every album starting with 1984 onwards was recorded at this studio. So there was real like friction. In fact, 1984 is the last David Lee Roth album. Eddie and brother Alex, who's the drummer, they kicked Roth out of the band following this album's run.
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Should we talk about the video though?
Yeah, I love the video.
The music video. All right. Just grab some more champs, and then we're going to talk about the video to Jump, which is, again, one of those like, how is this a thing? But it's a thing. Welcome back.
Sponsored by Veuve Clicquot Rose.
Wow. Top shelf today.
Yeah.
Top shelf. We sometimes we miss things on this show. It happens.
Yes.
It happens.
Really annoying.
And last episode, we were talking about breathy earnestness.
Yeah, Bryan Adams.
And I kind of blame myself here because I was so eager to get Richard Marx into that episode.
Yeah.
Realizing now, we didn't need Richard Marx because we had Bryan Adams, the song from Robin Hood, Bryan Adams, the song from Three Musketeers, and then realized just recently there's another Bryan Adams song from another movie about like the fucking Middle Ages in Europe that we missed.
Yeah, and it was I remember in that episode, if you are a faithful listener.
Yeah.
I was like, Antonio Banderas, and we're like, no, that's Puss in Boots. But really, it was Zorro with Catherine Zeta-Jones and Bryan Adams did that.
Yes, To Really Love a Woman, or Have You Ever Really Loved a Woman, which I think ended his run, because that song's song is fucking bad. But yeah, so there you go, Bryan Adams. We missed out on a classic Bryan Adams soundtrack.
Sorry, everyone.
All right. Speaking of classic, let's go to the Van Halen video for Jump.
Brad has texted me, but it's in a bubble right now.
Okay, he's going to let us know how he feels. The video for Jump. All right.
Yeah.
Let me just read a commentary.
Okay.
And then we can weigh in. Don't know who this person is, but they wrote, "Whatever there is to say about the music, it would be remiss of me to say nothing about the video, which is pure irony-free 80s gold."
I agree.
You've got the inflatable mullets, the long scarves, Eddie's yellow zebra print jacket, and David Lee Roth's peerless leather chaps. The performances are so hammy that the band are clearly struggling to keep a straight face, and you also get a strong sense that they can hardly believe they're getting away with what they're doing. There are so many stock-in-trade band poses, too. Singer waving the mic around, singer frauding poutily against bassist guitarist, drummer epically twiddling his drumstick during the post-solo breakdown, slow-mo and reversed footage of singer's admittedly pretty impressive acrobatics.
Listen, you got to give him so much props. Like, David Lee Roth jumps up. He does splits in the air.
He does. But the hammy. I love that this guy, he hit on this. I read this and I thought, yeah, I mean, that's really what it is about this video. The band's in on the joke.
Yeah.
It isn't like, maybe it is kind of like, but they're just doing a really bad version of it. We were watching the video to Unskinny Bop by Poison.
Yeah. Which is a wannabe Jump.
It wants to be Jump.
Yeah.
And we talked about maybe doing this song, but you brought maybe enough people wouldn't know it. It's just
Unskinny Bop.
But Unskinny Bop in a lot of ways maybe is like the poor man's Jump. It's like it's trying to have that same like
fun.
Je ne sais quoi, like the video, and it's fucking terrible. But here the performances are hammy. The band's in on the joke. Let me just play some here, YouTube viewers. You can check out some images below. But they're in where are they?
They're in a studio. It's like, they also have those like video fades where you see one person's like head and then he's like fading out, but a new whole video of a new person coming in. And then there's also that double image where
Yeah.
David Lee Roth's like doing a spin and Alex is drumming.
They're all hamming it up. I read somewhere else, it's like in this video, clearly David Lee Roth knows how good he looks and he's just going to go for it.
But that other guy looks like a little person, doesn't he? The guy, is that the bassist?
Yeah, hold on. Who
I
is
forget
the
his
other
name.
guy? Because
I don't know.
you've got super electric, attractive David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
Super talented Eddie Van Halen. You've got, I have no idea how good he is, but he shares the last name Van Halen, Alex Van Halen,
Right.
whatever. And then there's the fourth guy.
Is that Michael Anthony?
Who's it? Michael Anthony.
Yeah.
Michael Anthony.
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael Anthony, the bassist and backing vocalist for Van Halen from 1974 to 2006.
Oh, it's quite a while. But did he do anything on his own or anything? Michael Anthony sounds like such a big familiar name. Is it just that I know it from Van Halen?
Yeah, I think from Van Halen.
Okay, Brad, should we hear what Brad said?
But I gotta give Michael Anthony some credit here, though. He just stuck with the band. He wasn't trying to, go do his own thing.
I don't think he needs credit. He's just trying to hold on to a cash payout. I'm thinking about though.
Look at this though. I love this because Wikipedia is written by just people.
Yeah.
Look at the person's need to include this. In his early life, that they settled in Arcadia, which is next to Pasadena. They needed to make sure, like, the listener understands, like, no, it was near something.
It's a place.
It's a place. Or what does your brother have to say about Jump?
So he says, "Hi, Beck. I remember the MTV World premiere of that video for that tune.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Brightwell, this was his friend, called and said we could go over to a friend's house to watch it because neither of us had cable at the time."
Perfect.
Oh, I've always been a huge Van Halen fan. I remember thinking this song has a lot of keys. My brother plays every instrument, so he...
Oh, well, he hears it with the musician's ear.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's Brad's take.
But that's, it gives me, like I said, I have even more respect for the song because he's a true rock guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, but your brother, we talked about this before, your brother, like, basically gave up on Journey.
Which he loved. But he's like, well, the stuff my brother likes is scary. Like he likes
Yngwie Malmsteen.
Oh yes, he loves him, but like weird German, like crazy.
But that's what I mean. But he
as we walk away from
as we watch David Lee Roth prance around the stage, looking rather Buffalo Billish, to be honest.
Oh God, what a good
looking a little bit Buffalo
He's
Billish.
Like, what's that song that horses?
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh shit.
The song that Buffalo Bill dances to.
It's Wild Horses.
Yeah, something horses and the woman that Jonathan Demme met in the taxi.
Yeah, we love that song though.
Love that song so much.
When we were first dating, we listened to it every morning.
Well, because we went to
say anything about it.
Yeah. When we first met, we would listen to the Buffalo Bill song a lot. No, because we went and saw that film around the corner. They were doing a showing of
oh right, at the Arrow.
The Silence of the Lambs, yeah. But they really are hamming it up. I mean, every time they cut to Eddie Van Halen, he's got this just like goofy grin on his face. But look, the jumping splits from David Lee Roth.
Yeah, there's the double. It's with Eddie, not with Alex.
Eddie playing the synthesizer. Remember that like 80s trend? It's become now almost like it's a joke on social media, but where you do the picture in the picture and it'll be like maybe your prom photo.
Yes.
Or your family photos.
Yes.
It'd be like you and I.
One is a profile and one is a straightforward.
And then there's a photo up here of like Daisy.
Or Viv.
Anyway, classic video.
Mm-hmm.
Classic song. How do you think this song did in the charts for 1984?
I think that the Wikipedia said it was number 1 on the Billboard's top 100.
It went number 1, but for the year.
Oh, for the year.
For 1984.
I
love that they put the album out in 83 and they called it 1984. It's like,
well, they were looking into the
look
future.
at them though. Look at those guys. I mean, they're just going for it.
Look at that.
Yeah, he does a backflip, but for some reason they played it in reverse.
Then he like cleans his butt with his microphone. microphone.
He really hamps it up.
He's so like he's really acrobatic.
No, he is. But you were saying how he's a super like healthy guy, and
Even now
he's not like the bloated Rod Stewart rock star.
Yeah, he's 70 now and he looks so fit.
Yeah.
Okay, so when he left the band, I think Howard Stern, like I love Howard Stern interviews. And for a minute I had Sirius XM in my car, a car that I bought, like I didn't have to pay for it or anything. So I would always listen to Howard Stern. So he interviewed David Lee Roth one of these times, and David Lee Roth chose to be an EMT. Like just drive an ambulance.
So cool.
I mean, he just was down for life. And he's like so like New Jersey or something. Like he just is like, whatever, just like.
Yeah.
And I feel like he still is that guy, But anyway, I don't know. I just feel that way.
Let's see. David Lee Roth. Let's see. He was born in 1954. American rock singer known for his wild and energetic stage persona. Yeah, I would agree with that. He rejoined them? So when you saw them in like 07, 08, he'd come back to the band.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hold on, let me see. Halen formed in 1972. I mean, that's
early days. And how did they meet though? Why were they such enemies? If they, how did they join a band if they didn't get along?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Does it say anything about EMT?
That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, okay.
That's literally what I'm looking for. Hold on. I'm going to do the...
Or ambulance driver. I don't know.
Yeah, here we go.
EMT.
Okay. In the late 1990s, Roth became an EMT in New York City, going on over 200 ambulance rides. Wow. His EMT training was largely handled by some woman who detailed this on an episode of the DLR Cast podcast, whatever that is. Anyway, there you go.
Wow, good. I'm glad I was proved right.
Right about that. Okay, so 1984 charts. This is one of those. This is one of those years.
Oh,
Just
right.
Incredible. We've done it before because we talked about "Hello" by Lionel Richie.
I don't remember, but I'm gonna say I want to say 1.
Yeah, I would have guessed top 3
because the video it had all things going for it that you needed going forward in that time.
Yeah.
Now you would have to be on Instagram Reels, on TikTok, on you would have to have this social media presence and this and that, and Sabrina Carpenter might or something like that. But I'm gonna go with 1.
It was 1. Okay, I go with top 3.
Okay.
Billboard 1984.
Oh, it's not even top 3.
It's 6.
Oh,
number 6. Pretty good showing.
It's not bad.
When Doves Cry, it was number 1.
Wow, good.
But look at this though. I think we mentioned this when we talked about Lionel Richie. Say, say, say. I mean, just stop with that song.
That was number 3.
Number 3, Footloose, Against All Odds, then Jump.
Footloose.
God, Owner of a Lonely Heart was number 8.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Are you agreeing or are you saying the band?
I'm saying
okay,
the band.
So this is a great year, but in the top 10 we have Owner of a Lonely Heart and fucking Ghostbusters.
Seriously, no, I don't think that's
Wait,
great. I know it is here.
What? Wait, Ghostbusters was a top 10 hit?
It just goes to show it has to do with soundtrack.
So fucking campy. Yeah, no,
soundtracks really get that's
yeah.
why Bryan Adams really had a run.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He studied Ray Parker Jr.'s.
Who are you going to call Ghostbusters? Hey, was that a synth thing too?
I mean, how is that song even top 50 for the year?
I have no idea. It's
Who are you going to call?
The number 9.
Do you ever the Key and Peele skit with this one? It was just
wait, what was it?
It was like a fake commercial for a box set or a CD.
Yes,
and it's
yes,
Ray Parker Jr.
Yes.
And all he's doing is singing fake themes for movies.
Yes.
So yeah, number 6 for Jump. Pretty respectable showing.
Very.
I mean, I would get say the hell out of there and move it up a notch or 2.
And Footloose.
Footloose, another soundtrack movie. I mean,
Oh,
soundtrack.
God. But also, babe, Against All Odds.
Against
It's a
All-
made-for-TV movie that I loved.
Wait, Against All Odds was made for TV?
Yes, it was with Rachel Ward. It was so good.
No, I know the movie, but that was made for TV?
Yeah. Well, okay.
Hold on.
Of course I could be wrong.
No, hold on, let's look it up. Against All Odds. Look at the cover. Let's see. Original motion picture soundtrack.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
See, I was going to say, I don't think it was...
Okay.
Let's see. Film of the same name. Against All Odds is a 1984 American neo-noir romantic thriller.
I'm thinking of Thornbirds.
Oh, okay. Jeff Bridges, Jane Greer. Wow.
Wait, but isn't that Rachel Ward?
Well, the plot of Against All Odds, professional football player Terry Brogan is released by his team, the Outlaws. Aging, injured, and in need of money, he's contacted by an old
Rachel
acquaintance. Okay.
How do they not say that? That she's like my favorite person. I loved her in this era.
Oh, yeah, Rachel Ward. Yeah, she's there.
Okay.
Sorry. Interesting. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, Against All... So many soundtrack. You just gotta land a song on a soundtrack.
Yeah.
We gotta do an episode just like top soundtrack.
Yeah. Honey,
Okay,
can we like hook up with like a studio and write a soundtrack? It doesn't... Do you know anything about music? Can we just hum something?
You know anything about music? Can you do anything to get us?
But I mean, we could do it with my brother because he can play all the.
Oh,
if
yeah.
we're like, I'm like, I want this part to go like this.
Right. Yeah.
This
come on.
part's like,
Yeah, make it happen for us.
do.
Okay. We've done the bottom of 1984.
Okay.
So we're gonna do the middle of 1984.
Why not? Oh,
We already did
okay,
it. We didn't.
got you.
Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
The middle of the charts.
Yes.
Top 100 for 1984. Here we go. From 40 to 60. Here we go. What do we got here? Wow, look at some of these songs.
Sister Christian
Sister Christian.
by Night Ranger.
God, I love that song.
I
Followed by Drive by the Cars.
Wow. But how about how different those two songs are?
Yeah.
Like those are like what genre is like Sister Christian is rock? What genre are the Cars? Are they new wave?
Like new wave.
Okay.
Yeah. How about this one? They're coming in at number 50 to All the Girls I've Loved Before with Willie Nelson and Julio Iglesias. That version.
That's quite a pairing.
Yeah.
I've never if you had asked me, have Julio Iglesias and Willie Nelson done a duet, I would have said no.
Yeah. Islands in the Stream. Speaking of duets, Islands in the Stream.
Oh, Dolly Parton.
Kenny and Dolly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Islands in the Stream.
Yes, you and me.
Yeah. Love was a Battlefield.
Oh,
What is this song? Infatuation by Rod Stewart.
Infatuate. It's a terrible song.
I feel like his solo career has so many fucking like just lame songs.
But if you think I'm sexy, is that his solo career?
Yeah.
That's a good song.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's all bad. But I mean,
but Infatuation is terrible. But also,
they say the heart of rock and roll is still beating. Huey Lewis.
Huey.
God, delivers.
I love Huey.
I do too.
Union of the Snake, Duran Duran. Twist of Fate by Olivia Newton-John. Do you even know what that song sounds like?
No clue.
That's what's kind of crazy when you have no idea. When something sad songs say something.
Yeah, because we're not looking up like random hits from like a week that year. We're looking up the top of the
But babe,
year.
look. This is Huey Lewis too.
Yeah, I Want a New Drug.
55.
Love that song.
And then
That was
44.
Sports was that album? That was a great album.
So,
Oh my god,
but
this
wasn't
song.
he a cop?
This song.
Legs by ZZ Top. How about that video?
So bad.
Male gaze.
It wasn't Huey Lewis, that was the cop, that was Eddie Money.
Oh, Eddie Money was the cop. Yeah. What did Huey Lewis do? Just musician.
Lots of good stuff.
He was also in the We Are the World.
He was in We Are the World.
I remember that was such a good documentary. Everyone should watch
that's
that
right, because he was like really like
he was, like,
anxious.
nervous.
Because about hitting the high note.
Yeah, and he was so sweet.
He was doing the 3-bar harmony and he was nervous about hitting the high note. And yeah, that scene with Huey Lewis, like, it really like I feel that, remember the Eagles documentary, and there's the whole thing about Randy Meisner, who was the voice of, he sings Take It to the Limit, one of their most beloved songs. And he got to this
song.
and he got to this point where he was super anxious about performing it live because he felt like he couldn't hit the high notes. And because, in a singer's repertoire, the high notes are what you lose first. And eventually he left the band because they were like, Randy, you have to sing Take It to the Limit. The crowd wants to hear it. And he just was like, and whether or not he could hit the high notes, he felt like he couldn't. And, man.
But also, I can't tell you why. Like Yvette and I saw the Eagles. They're both of our favorite band. And when he sang.
That's not Randy Meisner, though.
It's not?
No, they replaced him with another guy with a high voice.
It was Randy Meisner when we were there. It was him. It's the guy.
No, he never came back to the band. Timothy Schmidt.
Oh, it was Timothy Schmidt.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure he never came back to the band.
It was Timothy Schmidt. Sorry,
Schmidt.
That's who. Did he not do Take It to the Limit?
No, so they bring Timothy Schmidt in as another high voice. He writes I Can't Tell You Why.
Oh shit! Okay.
And then he becomes the voice of Take It to the Limit.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad. I was totally wrong. But Timothy Schmidt killed I Can't Tell You Why.
Yeah, no, he's great voice.
So good.
He could do it.
I love him.
All right. Anything else to say about Jump? About synthesizers?
I have no opinion
about bands that changed singers in midstream. Incredible, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's just incredible that to tell you the truth, I was a Van Halen fan with David Lee Roth. Like I never liked them after that. I didn't.
It's a different sound with Sammy Hagar,
I don't like Sammy Hagar, period.
Tell me why
I don't like
this be love.
He's earnest.
He's earnest.
He has earnestness. I hate earnestness.
Right now.
No.
There's no tomorrow.
No.
That's what it is, though. It goes from fun to earnest.
Yes, because David Lee Roth was just like they were rock and roll.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah.
And then they go to like breathy earnestness.
Yeah, it becomes more like serious rock, which maybe is like, I don't know. That was, I think, one of the tensions was that Eddie Van Halen wanted the band to be like serious musicians and Roth wanted them to be fun.
Yeah, and commercially viable.
And that creates this like tension, whereas maybe it was Hagar, was more serious, but they just didn't find the same success because Roth.
But what's interesting about that whole idea, right? Jump took them there. Jump was like the bridge of pop and rock where David could still be fun. Eddie was still like technical and like Eddie was the musician.
But that was the end for them.
Right.
But 6 albums. I mean, they had a hell of a run.
Yeah.
I mean, they put out 6 albums in, 6 albums in 6 years?
72.
Well, no, 72 is only 4, but I think their debut album was 78.
Oh, really?
They just were churning out the music.
But good music.
Yeah, really good.
Oh, so good. But anyway, never liked them after that. I hated that song, I Can't Drive 55, too. Like, how's that video?
Hagar. That's solo Hagar.
Was that before, though?
Before, yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
I love Van Halen, still love old Van Halen.
Look, everyone, we're just going to leave you on this note. You might as well jump.
I feel like jumping
Might as well jump. Becky's jumping off screen. Becky's jumping. Go ahead, jump. Jump.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you. Who said that?
Baby, how you been?
Obviously.
Okay. Cheers. Love you.